Good evening, everyone. We are Wolfjaw Studios. My name is Clark Foley. I'm the VP of Operations, and I'm joined this evening by Joey Lyon, our Director of Engineering, and Chris Mullen, our Executive Producer. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. It is awesome to be back in Rev Hall, where I worked for a few years. To be back on the stage, it kind of feels a little different than being behind the stage or behind the bar. But we're happy to be here to give an update on Wolfjaw Studios that presented in December of 2019. So I just want to quickly thank again CEG, RPI, Jason, Anthony and Michael at Troy Webb. You guys have poured a lot of effort into making this happen, and Richard Lynn at Agora Media. A lot of people made this event happen, and it's just super cool to be up here and having these connections again. So thank you all. So as we mentioned, in 2019, Wolfjaw Studios stood before you here as a 13-person studio that was co-working out of my apartment. At that time, we were looking to grow, and we were looking for more clients and looking for more people to join our team. I'm super pleased to report that 5 years later, we are now 75 employees based here in downtown Troy. We love being in Troy, and these are photos of our team at career fairs and networking events like RPI, SUNY Albany, and RIT and Champlain. So we pull graduates from right here in the area, but we also hire remotely, and we do have employees in 15 different states right now, but we do enjoy having people based right here in the capital region. Woo! Yeah. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Has anyone here played a video game? Thank you, thank you. That's great, that's great. So I remember my first video game system was an Atari 2600. Thank you. Yes, all right. Nintendo was also my jam, but do you remember in those times you played in your basement or your living room, they were not connected to the internet. When you bought a game, you got the cartridge, and the game was the game until you bought a new one. Does anyone here play mobile games or portables like the Switch? Yes. Okay, going out on a real limb here. Anyone play competitively online in a ranked, ranked game like League of Legends? Yes. What do you play? Call of Duty? Yes. So, as you know, when you play Call of Duty, you are playing against other people online who could be potentially anywhere in the world if they're on the same server as you. One last trivia question. Does anyone know the first commercially available console that was connected to the internet for online features like multiplayer that was available in the United States? You had the hand up fast. You are correct. The Sega Dreamcast, it came out in 1998 and was the first commercially available video game console for purchase at home that would connect you with players online. Interesting note is that Japan was way ahead of us. They had the Super Famicom by Nintendo that came out like 8 or 9 years before. You might also be thinking that you had the right answer with the Xbox or PlayStation 2. Those both were internet connected and had online multiplayer features in 2000. So with that said, what Wolfjaw Studios does is related to being connected to the internet to play video games. And with that, I'll pass it to Joey, our Director of Engineering, and we prepared before, we're gonna pass the clicker.
Thank you, Clark. Cool, so what do we do at Wolfjaw Studios? Well, online gaming services, player engagement, and companion services. This is basically everything that Clark was mentioning. You wanna play games with people online. We build and help people build services to support that. You could see here like a quick preview of some of the people we work with, but we'll get into more detail in a little bit. So what does online game services mean? Things like matchmaking, tournament engines, player profiles, voice and text chat, all the fun stuff that kind of lets you play games with other people. We've also done some work on like Twitch integrations and other payment processing things. In terms of like player engagement, right? We do a lot of cross-play progression, like analytics, stuff like that. Code redemption, if you ever buy a code in store and you scratch off the thing and you redeem it, right? That's code redemption. Someone has to build all that stuff. So one thing about us is we're pretty technology agnostic, so we work with a whole bunch of different technologies, really whatever our clients are working with. Up here is like a list of some of our favorites, but pretty much if you can think of any modern programming language, we've done something with it. It really just depends on the game. And with that, I'll hand it off to Chris to talk about some of our clients.
Thanks, Joey. So yeah, just getting to some of the specifics. We're proud partners of Visual Concepts and 2K, working on NBA. We worked on them for the past few years. So some things that we've done there are datafying or making the event systems that they're using so people can engage in them. Just kind of making sure that they're modular and they can be rolled out in a bunch of different ways. There's a couple other things that we do as well with that. Is just more on the process of data for any of their systems that they have there, as far as like purchasing cards and things like that. The other big one for anyone who is a fan of like shooters and things like that is working and partnering with Bungie. We've done a bunch of work internally with their internal tools on ensuring that they are able to deliver games at a high quality for their players. And I believe that's it for me. Back to Clark.
All right. Cool. Thanks, Chris. So we gave an update on where has Wolfjaw Studios come in the last 5 years. Where are we going in the subsequent years? I'm proud to report this year is the first time that we've gotten organized and been able to offer internships. So we have 2 internships this summer. We've received an overwhelming response of people applying, and we're super happy to have those starting in June. We are hiring, so we have a couple job openings available on our website. That is going to be our main ask, is that if you want to work at Wolfjaw, please talk to one of us. There's a few of us here. I just want to also mention great news for Troy and Capital Region. Wolfjaw Studios is now very happy to be working with Wizards of the Coast. If you don't know them, they're part of Hasbro Entertainment, which has some of the biggest gaming IP out there, from card games to board games to video games. You might know some names like Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons Online. So it's really cool for us to be working with them. And also last year we had our first Wolfjam, which is a game-focused hackathon that took place right here in Troy. We're going to be doing it again in November of 2024, so please keep an eye out for that. And to just keep it real clear, please, our asks, keep an eye out for a Wolf Jam. That's our theme when we have any networking event out and about. We call it a Wolf Jam. We're very punny, Wolfjaw, Wolf Jam. But we're gonna have a happy hour in Troy in June. I sent these slides in last night, but we did confirm June 12th at Emery's Garden right across the street. If you want to come hang out, we'll be posting about it on our LinkedIn. And like I said, keep an eye out for Wolf Jam Hackathon in November. Follow us on LinkedIn. There'll be a QR code in just a second that you can follow us. We're getting super active on our LinkedIn and trying to do some positive posts like the Women of Wolfjaw we did last month in March. And as I said before, please be on the lookout for future engineering opportunities that will be available. We're hiring back-end online service engineers who might have experience in Python, Go, C#, C++, and our website, wolfjawstudios.com, has a careers tab that is /work@Wolfjaw. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for being here for the first Startup Tech Valley back after a way too long hiatus. And I just want to thank everyone out here, including friends, previous coworkers, colleagues, and a couple drinking buddies too. So thank you guys so much. And if you have any questions, let us know. Any questions for us? Thank you, Sean. Yes.
What do you think of the new Fallout series?
Okay, I'll be totally... Yes, so the question was, what do I think about the new Fallout series on Amazon Prime, which is... It is game-related. It's a new series on Amazon Prime that has to do with the Fallout series of video games made by Bethesda. Bethesda ZeniMax, a really big game publisher, and Fallout was a huge, huge title with multiple iterations. So the quick answer is, I have not watched it yet, but I have tagged it as favorite, and it's on my watch list. I don't know, we have a Slack channel that's called Spoilers, and you write the name of the show, and then in a thread, you talk about it, and I know people are talking about it. So yes, please watch Fallout. Oh, actually, Sean, what do you think about it?
Thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up. Binary review 1. Awesome. Cool. I think we might have time for one more question, and please make it harder. Yes. Kidding, Sean.
Testing. Okay. When it comes to like cheating, right, and enforcing those kinds of things, or giving feedback to the producers, like what's your responsibility? What's your expectation of your responsibility for like, enforcing that, fixing cheating, all that stuff?
So we do some anti-cheat work. We can't really get into too many specifics, but it really is building tooling to like detect patterns that don't really match, right? Like normal player patterns, or maybe someone all of a sudden becomes really good and like there's a pattern to that. So there's a lot of different solutions to that, but a lot of it is actually augmenting like human reviewers. So like flagging a session that might be a hacker or something, or might be a cheater, raising that for someone to look at, right? And then a lot of times it's a person that actually makes the call, depending. So.
Thank you, Anthony. Thanks so much for having us. Have a great evening.